Hi, stationery friends. Welcome back to Ginger Peachy Pens. My name is Sarah, and today I have a confession that I did not spend any time this week thinking about what kind of video I would make for this weekend. But today I thought, you know what would be fun is to go through my Galen leather, small leather goods collection. I don't like the word collection when I'm not intentionally collecting things, but I guess I do kind of have a collection of these and just show you the pros and cons, things I like, things I don't like about them. And, if you've thought about getting anything from Galen Leather, I hope this might be helpful. So let's jump into it. Move my little peach dish that I like to put in frame. So the first thing I purchased from Galen Leather was actually this Kaveco Sport, and I won't spend a lot of time on this because it's not a small leather good, but this was in May of 2021, and I ordered it directly from them, paid for the shipping and everything because I just really liked this transparent purple. You might know that I live in Louisiana and it's tiger country down here, LSU, and so this is perfect. I'm not a big time LSU fan, but still, it represents my neck of the woods. So, yeah, I just thought this was really pretty and I'm going to use this in a minute in one of these cases. The second thing that I bought was in September of 2022, and I sort of bought this as a birthday gift to myself, or I used birthday money to get it. And this is the let me see what it's technically called, just the Slim Hobonichi Weeks planner cover. This was $38 and I bought it directly from Galen Leather. This is the undyed leather, so you can kind of see that the color has already started changing. It's a little darker than some of these other pieces, and I like that. I like that sort of darkening as you use things. I have not switched out of this cover for my planner um, for a year at this point, so I am really enjoying it. I am planning to continue using it next year because it's a really good one. So, as you can tell, I'm going to give this a good review. This is just, as it's called, a slim cover. It's not, it doesn't obviously have a zipper or tons of pockets or anything that really bulks up your planner. I like something that if I'm carrying a medium sized purse, I can actually put this in my purse if I want to. I don't carry it in my purse all the time, but this is small enough that to just upsize my purse a tiny bit, I can actually fit this. So it fits the weeks perfectly. I did try putting the cover in both sides when I first got it. Obviously, I want to see the bunnies. So that's one main reason why this is not in there. But when I got this cover, I was using a regular weeks. Let's see, it was this one, this pink one. So it has this fabric cover. I know I'm not going to take the cover on cover off. It has this fabric cover. And when I put both sides into here, without the clear cover, obviously, not obviously, um, you couldn't, when you opened this cover wanted to try to slide a little bit, to like like you can see right here, it wanted to slide out a little bit as you opened it, and it couldn't slide because this fabric just gripped onto that interior of the leather, and so you ended up with this kind of thing, and I didn't love that, like laying on my desk having that you know pooch in the back. So I ended up using the pink one and then moving to this bunny one without tucking it in, which works out fine for me. It can be two steps, I guess, to open your planner if you have to do this and then find your page. But I have this good, tab here, so I can just take it from here and open it straight to this week, and I'm good to go. So it doesn't have to be two steps if I'm in a hurry, but I can also enjoy my cute bunnies. So I think maybe if you put your cover in here and just kept it for a while, maybe the leather would stretch just enough that it would slide, a little bit. Or if you have one of the weeks that has the slick cover on it, the shiny cover, it might slide a little better. I have not tried that with the Aurora Duty one from last year. But I'm very happy with this. So in the pocket, I just keep a few little stickers, and actually, I put this little notepad in here um, that I got recently. It's a sticky notes notepad. A couple more little stickers. I have this Esterbrook clip. I love those big, chunky Travelers Company clips. If I need it to keep, I don't typically need anything to keep my weeks open, but I love those. But they're heavy and they're bulky to carry around. So I discovered that this Esterbrook one is also brass. It's not heavy, but it is brass, so it's not nothing. It fits just right in this pocket. Um, it doesn't bulk up my planner. It adds minimal weight to it. And I rarely use it, but I occasionally do use the straight edge, or I can kind of clip it onto a couple of pages to hold down one side if I need to. So it's just enough. It's not a necessity, but it's a nice, nice thing to have. And then the back, it has the same little slit pocket. That does, of course, go into here. These items are touching these items, which is fine. It has a really good pin loop. This pin loop has elastic on the inside, so it fits, even larger pins. It's high enough up that a pin with the clip in just the right place doesn't always work because your pin might stick up. But everything I've used has been fine. This has even worked really well with, is it in here? With a platinum meteor? Yes. So for, at least a couple of months this year, I used this platinum meteor that doesn't have a clip on it and can just slide it in there and it grips onto it. I never had an issue. This did not fall out one time. It's pretty snug in there, and I can either pull the pin out and leave the cap in, or it comes right out too. So I'm really happy with this pin loop. Some clips don't, want to immediately go over the leather because it's not thick, but there's some thickness to the leather. But yeah, I think it's wonderful. I know I'm talking about this way longer than I really intended to, but this slim weeks cover I think is awesome, and they make them also for, some other sizes. But this is the only planner cover I have, and I really love it. Highly recommend it. So I think the next items I got, it does not really matter if these are in order, I know, but I bought these two things at the same time. I wanted to try to slim down the number of pens I was taking to work, and I was really undecided on whether I wanted to take 5. I wasn't bothered by whether it was 4 or 5 pens, but I couldn't decide if I liked this one, the layout of this one, or the layout of this one better. So I ended up getting both, as you do sometimes. And so I really do like these covers a lot. Again, this is the undyed leather. This is called the Zippered 5-slot pen case. At this point, they're $49. I bought these directly from Galen Leather as well. These loops I do find hold really good sized pins. So here's a Kaveco Sport, goes right in there just fine. And then here is an Esterbrook oversize pen, and it fits in there just fine. You can see that it doesn't quite go to the top or the bottom. And so I am careful with this zipper that I don't nick the tops. Well, I don't really find that happens with this one too much. But if the pen is pushed up or down a little bit, you can kind of zip across the pen. I am also careful with some pens on how I pull them out. I'll kind of push that zipper back to make sure I don't scrape it. But, for the most part, that's not an issue. My one thing with this I've been watching too many Hobonichi videos. This pen case is that you're supposed to be able to put a notebook here, and I have not found that to really work. So here's a field notes notebook. These are pretty thin. Like, you can't really get any thinner on a notebook. But I found that having 5 pens in here and a notebook did not work. Let's see, what can I stick in here? Let's see what's in here. So I'll put in this Sailor Jinhao 82. I've got a narwhal. That's kind of tall and it fits fine. And I've got a Pilot Custom 823. So those fit in here great. But when you put them with the notebook, you have to, well, today it seems like it wants to work a little better. I don't know, whatever pins I had in here, I guess you just have to be careful. You kind of have to squeeze it. Like you kind of have to squeeze it closed. Now today I feel like it's working slightly better than it has in the past. But so maybe it has stretched out, a little bit or something. Or maybe I had bigger pins on the two ends, that might make a difference. If you put larger pins on the outside, on the inside and the outside, maybe that's what was kind of preventing it from closing. But okay, well, I need to take back my thoughts a little bit because I think it's fitting better than I thought. So this is a good 5-pin case. Possibly for a little while when you get it. The notebook is a little tight. But for just a 5-pin case, it was kind of awkward to me to get it and have the pins on the left side because you feel like they should be on the right. It makes sense for a right-handed person. It makes sense if you have a notebook in here. But if you're just going to use it as a pen case, it's like you just expect your pens to be on this side. Not a big deal. It's just, kind of catches you off guard. So I got this at the same time as this. Again, this is undyed leather. This is the Slip and Zip 4 slots zippered pen pouch in the undyed leather. This is $43. And this one has this removable little pen holder. I really liked the look of this. I kept seeing this. I was influenced on this one. I liked the look of this. I kept seeing it on Instagram and, people just had it on their desk looking so cute with all their pens in it. And let me see. Benu, like this case, you can fit your largest pens in. Because I'll show you. And actually, let me grab a Jinhao 82. This is from my friend Deb. Thank you for this, Deb, if you watch this video. This is about the same size as a Mont Blanc 149. So you can see these slide in here easily. They don't touch each other. They don't, they can move and touch each other, but for the most part, they don't. I kind of like to turn my clips a little bit so they're not jabbing the leather from the inside. And then this just goes right in. And let me show you how much room there is. So even if you have a really long pen for some reason, it should fit in here, even if it doesn't fully fit the length of this little tray. You can see I have one of these little Hobonichi weeks, what are they called? The little extra notebooks in there that just kind of lives in there. So yeah, I really like this. I like the ability to take it out and lay it on your desk. This one will kind of stay open, but it kind of, is a book, so it doesn't like lay flat. So I usually end up closing this one, but this one, it looks cute and it's functional and your pens stay right there. Has that extra length. I couldn't decide when I first got this, and I may have shown this in a video, whether this was supposed to be the front or this is supposed to be the front. I think it makes sense to me, and I should go look at some pictures on their website. I think it makes sense to me for the zipper to end up at the top, that just makes sense to me, and for the logo to be on the back. But, it doesn't matter. Like, it really doesn't. It works just fine both ways. Put it right back in this way, zip it up, and there you go. So, I probably put them in different ways depending on the day. So yeah, I really like this one. This one, if I were to lose it, I would not rush to repurchase it. But if it was the only pen case that I had, I would use it and enjoy it. It's not problematic. Just has a couple of little considerations when it comes to the notebook and things. So I think the next case that I purchased, I was going to say acquired, was this one. This is the 10 slots, zippered 10 slots pen case in Crazy Horse Brown. I did not think I would like the Crazy Horse Brown, but after I got this one, I have really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed this color, this really soft, almost velvety kind of texture. And this pen case has sort of become my favorite one. So this one has these two flaps. So, when I'm in a hurry, sometimes it's sort of like you gotta unzip it, you gotta get it under your flap, But it has the two flaps, 5 pins on each side. They fit really well. Forgive me for continually moving pins around, but I want to show you how it is when it's full of pins. Let me take out this little one because it's going to fit. These are the ones that actually lived in here. And I'll move this. Oh, not the Jen Howe. Move this. Yeah. So, and you can see these are some larger pins and they fit. The first little while, I felt like I kind of had to pull this fabric down, over the pins and sort of make it work. But I think it's kind of molded to the shape of the pins. So zipping it up, it's no problem. Sometimes the zipper wants to catch on this fabric, and I've actually trimmed some little fibers that were sticking out from this before, and I will continue to trim as needed. But most of the time it's not a problem. Sometimes you kind of have to tuck them in right there. I've considered rounding them off a little bit more so that they fit in a little better. But, like I said, for the most part, not a problem. I love this chunkier zipper. You can see this one is a wider, chunkier, all very smooth zippers. Are they? Yes, they're YKK zippers. But I do like this chunkier one. I just think it's fun, So yeah, I like this one. It was a little tight when I first got it with 10 pins in it, especially larger pins. But, I would sometimes kind of arrange them, like look at this side, and if this oversized pin was here, then maybe I would put a smaller one where they would match up. And I think maybe over time the leather has just stretched out a little bit. It's kind of molded, and I don't feel like I've noticed an issue with that since. So this is kind of my favorite one. This is the one that I reach for the most, at this point. So highly recommend. This one was $58, and I did buy this one from Gold Spot Pins, I believe. So after that, I don't remember which of these I got first, but this is the 6 pen case. So it's exactly the same. Basically, it is the Crazy Horse brown and has the flaps, but it just holds 6 pins. This one I feel like is tighter, and it might just be because it's more narrow, that it doesn't have as much to stretch around your pins. But the first time I loaded it up, and I won't even put the biggest pins in there, and let's see how it goes. So yes, we're just doing the what this feels like the what fits in this purse videos. This case is relatively new to me, and I'm kind of still unsure about it. So let's put in the 743. Does that have a crack? Okay, I'm not going to do the 743. That one feels special. It does not have a crack, by the way. It was the light. And I'm going to put in a custom 74, another custom 74, and I'll put in this meteor. So you can see how these flaps, like, they need a little time to mold around the pins. But look at this. I have to like push it to close it. And with some pins, that just kind of makes me nervous because that tells me that on the inside, there's fabric between them, but still I'm like pushing on these pins and nervous is a little, I guess, exaggerating. But you know, it just makes me go like, "Ugh, I don't know that I like doing that." So I actually stuffed this case at one point. I zipped it up like to here and then just stuffed it with like ballpoints and gel pens and stuff as tight as I could. And then even like added more so that it was as tight as it could possibly be and let it sit for about 3 days trying to stretch it out. And I'm not sure that it has. I probably need to just jump in and start using it and maybe just start with smaller pens and, you know, I don't know. Um, but just know that, like, however you decide, just know that they're a little tight when you first get them. And I think that it's kind of stretching out over time. So I won't redo this. You can see too that these flaps work really well tucked behind to lay on your desk. And that gives you some protection when pulling your pens in and out where you're not scraping them on a zipper. I will say too that especially with these bigger pens, there is the chance of bumping them with the zipper because the zipper on the bottom, if those pens are low. So generally, I like kind of pull the zipper. I'm exaggerating it, but kind of make sure I'm pulling the zipper out a little bit to try to avoid hitting the pen materials when I'm opening and closing. So that's the same. These are the same height, just different widths. And then last but not least, this is the Zippered Magnum Opus 12 slot hard pen case in the undyed leather. I haven't had this 6 months, maybe not quite that long. And this is the undyed leather again. Did I say that? These are $159, and I think I got this from Van Ness Pens, maybe with a discount. This one again has the smaller size zipper, like the 5-pin. Well, it's a slightly bigger actually than the 5-pin zipper, but it's definitely smaller than the chunky zippers. And here's what happens when you open this. This is not a con. When you open it, the back pops open. So on the back, it has these little these little elastic straps that are pulled tight. So when you unzip, this pops up. Now, the purpose of this, I believe, is so that you can sort of sit it up on your desk or something. What I have found is that whenever it pops up, I have had it do this, especially when I'm sitting like on my sofa, you know, it will grab onto the fabric and it'll stay up. When this pops open, I look to see my pins here and they're not here. This is the back because the front has magnets and you can fold it down and magnetize it open. Did I see that in frame? So the front, you can see this seam, it's not a seam, this dent here for you to fold, and it has magnets on the front. So the idea is that you can prop this case up like this and have 12 pins in front of you. Ooh, look, it's kind of staying. And be able to use them. This pen tray does slide out of here pretty easily. So you can have this out if you want to have these on your desk, or if you want to, you know, whatever you want to do, lean this up somewhere or something. That's pretty handy. I put in a couple of pins here that are larger. So this is a Benu Euphoria. That's a larger pin. It fits with no problem. The Bone Crusher Velma is a longer pin. Let me see a Franklin Christoph. This is the longest pin I have without getting into like the Pilot Parallels. And it fits, let's see. Yeah, it fits just fine. It sticks out the top of the tray, but it fits fine even at this corner. So yeah, that's the longest pin I have. Here it is in comparison to the Euphoria. And it fits a wider pin. So this is a Russ Pins 16 millimeter. I think that refers maybe to the grip, because this is a very wide pin. It fits in here, no problem. These little things kind of, you know, you can wiggle them back and forth. So if you have a bigger pin next to a smaller pin, you could, you know, they'll kind of make more room for each other. These little pelicans are small. Here's what a sport looks like. Goes way down in there. But thankfully, when you open it, you can get to it easily. I will say the only, I don't want to call them cons, but the only downsides, I guess, to this are one that it is kind of, it's kind of heavy because it's, there's a lot to it. There's this whole leather outside and then the pin tray, and then you have 12 pins in there. It is, not a lightweight thing to carry. I think it's heavier than something like this, which of course holds two fewer pins, but still it is heavier because it's this hard case. And I don't always love that the pins still move around so much. I don't think they're going to get damaged, like it's not a worry, but you still just notice that, like when I put it down, and you hear your pens kind of go slosh slosh, you kind of go because what I'm imagining is ink. If it does it hard enough, ink coming out of the nib and into the cap a little bit, or I don't know. Again, not a bad thing. Most pens that I put in here are these kind of medium to larger size pens anyway. I'm not worried about damaging anything, though they are, touching the inside of that zipper up there. Generally I make sure I put this case upright or flat. I have also fit in here. Where did that go? This was a freebie that I got, I think, when I ordered the 5 and the 4 pen cases. Just a little 1 pen sleeve. I have actually put a pen in here. Let's see, let me get something. Put a pen in here and put it in the top of this. Was it one of these? I think it was this. Or a rickshaw, solo pen sleeve. And that closes up just fine. I don't feel like it's damaging the sleeve, but I had one more pen and it just fit right in the top of there. So that is kind of nice, if you need that baker's dozen. This is a nice little leather sleeve. You can buy these from Galen Leather, but they sometimes give them away as freebies with an order. This again is that undyed leather. I do like it. I don't use it all the time because it doesn't particularly grab onto your pen. They can kind of slide out. So I'll use them depending on the pen and the bag I'm putting it in and that sort of thing. So because a rickshaw solo sleeve kind of grips onto your pen, and it doesn't fall out, so it's a little more toss in your bag a bowl. So anyway, that is the collection. They very often will send these little, if you order from Galen Leather directly, you get these little zipper bags. I really like these. They're so lightweight and thin, good little zippers. Great for, whatever you want to put in there. I also, when I bought this 12 slots pen case, I got a tote bag. It was just a cotton tote bag. It says Galen Leather Co. on it, and this was inside of it. I think it was maybe in a plastic wrapper, and then inside this. On the back it says Penfest. I don't know what Penfest is. Maybe something that Van Ness did. I don't know. But I think this is fun. I love this. I love the Galen Leather logo. I think it's really pretty. And then one time I got this little leather tag, which I've never put on anything because I'm so afraid to lose it because I like it so much. So they send good little freebies. I mean, Galen always sends like a postcard and interesting like tea and a Turkish coffee. Like these are some stickers I got one time. They always, kind of include some little freebies, some little hand towels, hand wipes. But if you order from, I did get this bag from Van Ness, but none of these other freebies, usually come with things purchased from U.S. retailers. So there are 4 retailers that you can buy from, that you can potentially get free shipping or whatnot, are Gold Spot, Van Ness pens, Goulet pens, and Applebaum. So, those are places that have US locations. Because ordering from Galen Leather, I think you have to hit like $250 or something to get free shipping. Um, so check, those other places are out of stock a lot of the time, because Galen Leather is really popular. But I did find a few of these pieces, more locally and not having without having to order from overseas. So there is my little, I say little because there's a lot more options collection. I have not ventured into the colored leathers, though I really like them. I look at them and I'm like, I don't know which one to get, so I just don't. Um, but at some point, maybe when I decide when I decide what I really like to use, um, maybe I'll add something in blue or purple, um, or something like that. So anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have had a great week. I hope that you're starting to feel some fall weather. We are not, but I'm still hoping for it to come soon. And yeah, I appreciate you being here. I hope that you will give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not. Let me know what you think. Do you have any Galen leather pieces and do you like them? What are your favorites? Um, was I wrong about anything? Do you have any experience with these being, sort of tight? Like, let me know what your thoughts are. So I look forward to talking to you. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Take care. Bye.